and the
Of
ocean
all
does
the ecosystems?
of all the ecosystems, and the ocean does cover 70% of the Earth's surface. You know, we keep on calling it green, but really it's a blue planet. It's a water planet.
Hello, everybody who are checking in. Jen, Julie, Joan, Mark, Bill, Phil. Yeah, you missed yesterday, Phil. It's still available on the internet. Nothing ever dies on the internet. So yeah, here we are. Kai said he saw a mountain lion walking a city street.
Wow.
That's exciting.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would normally today, I had a plane ticket to New Orleans. I would be just getting off the airplane in New Orleans right now. This is the shirt that I sometimes like to wear when I'm going to New Orleans. It's my Snooks Eaglin at the Rock and Bowl. Snooks is an amazing guitar player, songwriter, singer. Started as a street musician. He's passed away now. But I saw him a lot of times at the bowling alley, at the Rock and Bowl. Snooks, blind guitar player. Those were great times. But I was just thinking about. Yeah, Scott's got his Saturn Bar shirt on. Oh, the Saturn Bar. That's a terrible, wonderful place. That may be the worst bathroom I've ever been in. It's
in the whole of the world.
Well, I can't say in the whole of the world because I've been to the bathroom in Kuala Lumpur and some other Asian places where the restaurant. I've been to the funky bathroom, so maybe not. But one of the freakiest bathrooms here in the United States. Anyway, I would be on my way to New Orleans, so I'm really missing New Orleans. I'm getting ready for tomorrow, Virtual Jazz Fest on WWOZ. I'm just reminding people who missed yesterday, if you download the WWOZ app, it's free, and you can listen to WWOZ live on the internet. Tomorrow, they're playing all Jazz Fest recordings for the next
highlights
Thursday through Saturday. This weekend, next week, and tomorrow, one of my favorites that I'm looking forward to is Ella Fitzgerald with Stevie Wonder, recorded in 1977. So, if you want to see someone pissed off, check YouTube Michael Rappaport. Okay, I'll check that later on. You may remember Michael Rappaport from the TV show that we started watching, and then
Atypical.
Yes,
the dad. Yep, I know exactly who he is.
So last year on this night. Wednesday, the first Wednesday. I usually travel to New Orleans on Wednesday, and then Jazz Fest is Thursday through Sunday, and then I'll be there for Monday, Tuesday, and fly home the next Wednesday. This weekend, or this year, I'm going to both weekends on the app on my phone. But I was looking up in my Offbeat magazine from last year what I did, because usually you can go to their website and you can see what's playing in New Orleans anytime and find out what you would be doing on that night if you were there. And I tried that today, just hoping that they had old listings, but they've taken down all the listings. So it's so sad when you check what's going on in New Orleans tonight.
Oh, because there's nothing going on.
Yeah, so I had to go back to last
year. So you don't
year.
have that sort of horrible feeling that you're missing out on something, but you also have the horrible feeling that there's nothing happening there.
Yeah, it's a double horrible feeling.
Yeah, so you don't have Schadenfreude, but you don't have...
No, Schadenfreude. That's when you feel good about something bad happening to someone else, and
that's right. Yeah, no, you don't. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So just general.
I'm feeling bad about something bad happening to me.
No, you're having FOMO, but you can't have FOMO because you're not missing out because nothing's happening.
Yeah, you can't go. You can't go there, even if you went there. You can't go there.
So none of you can be having FOMO right now because you're not missing out because it's not happening.
Yeah.
In New Orleans and other places as well. Anyway, back to you because you need to be talking about this, right?
I do need to be talking about this right
you
now.
Do. I get it. Yeah.
So
okay.
last
go
year,
for it.
Often now, one of my favorite things to do when I get to New Orleans is just to ask everybody else what they want to do, and then go where they want to go. Because I've been to a lot of my favorite places, and I go there sometimes between Jazz Fest. So I get to see all the things that I want to see, and I do see the things that I want to see at Jazz Fest. But last year, I get there. And everybody kind of arrives on Wednesday of my crew that goes together. We all stay at the same place, and they're saying we're going to go see Dan Penn at Chikiwawa. Dan Penn, famous songwriter. He wrote this song "I'm Your Puppet," and he'd have been 80 last year-ish. And we went to see him. It was such a sweet night. And I was checking my phone before we went on to see because I circled it in here, so I knew I went to see it. And then I checked my phone. I have a little video of Dan Penn from Chihuahua last year. So I'm going to post that on Instagram after this if you want to see what that's like. Not that you need to be running a lot of errands to go see things that I did last year, but maybe you do.
We're not living in the past, though, are we?
No, I'm not living in the past. I'm remembering some great things that happened in the past.
Some sweet things.
Yeah, some sweet things.
Yeah.
Earth Day, ironic day for an earthquake. I'll get back to New Orleans in a minute, but I see Phil Hicks has said we had an earthquake last night.
Yeah, we had an earthquake. I slept right through it. It wasn't that big a one, right? Or was it? It was big enough to wake you and Fanula up, but I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very into Earth Day, so if the Earth was moving, I should have been cognizant of that. But
I woke up. It was not a giant one. There's always that.
Just a little.
If you don't live in a place where there's earthquakes, I think that this is probably fairly common. You feel the earthquake, and then you try and decide if you should do something, go to a doorway, or tell everybody to wake up because it's an earthquake. And this was an earthquake where it didn't even come close to doing something. I didn't think I had to get up. It was about like that. Like that. Just a little shaky like that.
I don't even notice those ones. So
did you feel that?
I did feel that. But growing up in New Zealand, so we're on the Ring of Fire like California is, and there were so many earthquakes when I was a kid. I mean, I remember my mother, there was a ritual. She would run into the living room. She had these two very beautiful blue china ceramic horses, and she would run in and hold them on the mantelpiece so that they didn't smash. And then I remember at my boarding school, we'd wake up and the whole concrete building be moving back and forth. I was here for the big one, the Northridge, and I went back to sleep afterwards. I was like, yeah, that's just an earthquake. No big deal to me. Then, of course, it was a big deal. People died.
Yes, well, the Earth is having, I consider this Varinus attack to be the Earth.
Pushing back?
That's the Earth, that's Mother Nature.
Saying,
giving us a little knock. Think. I want you to think.
Yeah,
think about what you're trying to do to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Please. I mean, this would be a moment for us to recalibrate.
Right, but shout out to Aretha Franklin, please. You can't just do it and then not.
Well, you can do the shout out to Aretha Franklin.
I just did, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Talk about what we should be doing for the Earth.
Well, I mean, the thing that I talked about for Earth Day is, we're not driving, we're not flying, so the skies are blue, and that's great over our cities. We can see the sort of instantaneous results of us, not polluting the atmosphere. But then the other thing we're not doing is we're not doing non-essential shopping. And I know that only being able to go to the supermarket is, pretty limiting. But the thing is, there's a lot, we do the consumerism, the rate that we have consumerism at, they say we'd need, 2 to 3 to 5 more planets of resources to keep consuming it the way we want to. And, we don't. We have one finite planet.
It's still one. It's still one planet.
Still one.
We still got one planet.
Yeah.
Todd is asking if I'm a Trombone Shorty fan. And I'm sorry this is a bit all over the place, but I think you know what that... I think you're a fan of that.
Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we're known for. That's our brand.
I am a Trombone Shorty fan, Troy Andrews, and I've been watching him since he was young, since he was a shorty. There's so many great musicians in New Orleans, but if you want to start with Trombone Shorty, and then just take it from there. Go down, get off the plane, go right Wednesday night. Usually, I would say you want to go to DBA on Frenchman Street and see Walter Wolfman Washington. That would be my go-to.
He's pretty fantastic. I like Mr. Walter. He's great. Yes, Trombone Shorty is an absolute genius, Angus. And you are right.
Are you a Gourds fan? I don't know. I'm assuming that's a band, and so now that's a thing that I've got to find. I've got to ask myself.
And you
I don't
know.
Know.
Band?
Well,
no.
I don't know. Jen is just trying to help. She assumes she assumes we're as smart as her. We're not.
But Hugh, we have all been sent to our room, and we should. I mean, this would be a perfect time for us to sort of take note and sort of reconfigure our evil ways. But will we? Will we do that?
I'm not going to.
You're going to get out there and be just as evil as you were before.
Well, no, but
you're not that evil.
You're
only just a smidge, just a little teeny weeny.
I'm a decent sort.
Yeah,
I'm a decent sort.
You're a good guy. You're pretty good. You heart the planet a little bit, right?
I do. I love this planet. Look, I'm not going to Mars. I've made that clear.
Yeah, he thinks it takes too long to get to Mars, and he's right. It does take way too long.
It's not just the length of the trip,
Oh.
although people do say it's about the journey and not the destination. But
Yeah,
with
that
Mars,
journey, yeah.
it is about the destination. There's not air on Mars. I've been over this before.
Yeah, and it takes
But,
how many years to get there? 30?
I don't think it takes 30. No,
30
I think,
months.
Yeah, maybe that's more like it. It depends
Way
on where.
too
Earth and Mars are both going around the sun, if you believe that. And
Yeah.
And so there are times when the Earth and Mars are closer to each other and further apart.
So you want to get on that trajectory. Well, we saw, Matt Damon when he was living on potatoes on Mars. So we know that, and then, or you can swing your rocket ship around and, get saved. I'd come and save you, Matt Damon, if you were on Mars and I was an astronaut and I was only a wee way home and you needed saving. I mean, I'd save you before I'd save Matt Damon.
Are you You would?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
I just thought I'd better
Comes
get
down
that
to
in.
me or Matt Damon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm getting
You
saved.
before Matt Damon.
Sorry, Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Yes, I've watched Treme on HBO, and I enjoyed it. A lot of great New Orleans musicians in Treme. The theme song, John Boutte sings the theme song,
That's a pretty voice.
and that's great. John Boutte. That's another great person to go see when you're in New Orleans, if you go to New Orleans. Did I rock your world? Do I rock your world? Kind of.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
On
does.
occasion, I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, he does.
Less often now.
Oh,
As you reach a certain age. Less attempts. I'm still, my percentage is probably about the same, but the amount of attempts goes down as you get older, I think.
well, we also have been married coming up on 18 years, so.
What, are you bored? But you're my sole supply of rocking.
I am.
did that,
I
right?
yeah. No, I totally realize that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. One of my jobs.
So you went to New Orleans a couple of times. You've been there several times. We
I've
were
been
there at
up.
Christmas time. What
Yeah, we were.
what would you like to go to do in New Orleans if we were there tonight?
Well, I know the Funky
And
Butt.
everything was open.
Yeah, right. The Funky Butt's not there anymore, but I did love the
That's a
Funky
long-
Butt. I know.
that's a long time
I know.
ago.
But no, what I was going to say is, remember the night that we were there and we saw Wynton Marsalis play the trumpet, and he was closer than that. Fences over there. It was super close.
Yes,
I mean, to me,
yes.
that was it was so beautiful. I have never forgotten hearing him. I mean, virtuoso played the trumpet. That was gorgeous.
Yes.
So I like that, and I love Tipitinas. Tipitinas is fun.
Tipitinas is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost Ellis Marsalis this year, Wynton's father. Charlie says, yes, it's called age, among other things.
Thanks, Charlie.
So, do you have any animal facts for today?
Well, I thought we weren't going to talk about animals today. I thought we were going to talk about hamsters tomorrow.
Do you know that there's these sharks that are rapidly evolving? They're reef sharks, and they've got front flippers, and then they're pelvic flippers, and they do sort of a walk on their flippers, and they've been evolving just in the past few years, and they can go from one little tide pool to another. These sharks.
Are they walking over coral, or they're walking
Yeah,
in sand?
they're in the little tide pools, so they're on the corally, rocky bits where
wow,
there's
how
a
interesting.
little water here and a little water there.
Well, you know that sharks are 400 million years old. So they were on the earth when the dinosaurs were here. And they're sort of, I mean, this is interesting because the thing that I've always heard about sharks is that they're at the top of the evolutionary game, but they're still evolving, which,
Well,
if you believe in evolution,
if
you've got to believe in that.
if you believe in
Yeah.
evolution, right?
You've got to be a
Which
science
we
person.
do. We both believe in that.
Oh my God, yeah, we do. Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't believe I didn't ask you that.
Yeah. I don't believe in God. Oh my God, I don't believe in you. But oh my God, I do believe in evolution. Yeah, of course. Yes, and I love that that's cool that the sharks are doing that. But it's interesting because the sea level is rising. So, there's going to be more ocean for them. They're not actually going to have to.
Yeah, the ancient
shimmy.
sharks are like, you young sharks are so dumb. You're
Yeah.
evolving. We don't need to evolve.
Yeah, why
We're
would you
winning
waste your
this
energy
thing.
on that? Well, they are winning.
But
except-
they're small sharks, so they can't go out. With the deep sharks will eat the small
Oh,
sharks.
right.
Sharks are
Okay.
kind of
Yeah.
assholes that way.
Well, yeah, they are, except you guys do know that we're the biggest assholes when it comes to sharks. I mean, humans are so nervous about sharks. 11 people a year get, killed or attacked by sharks. Maybe it's killed. And we're killing, 11,000 an hour. I mean, we just going through sharks like they're, butter.
Yeah, we are. So there's a little
mean.
talk here in the comments about
Yeah.
the Rock and Roll New Orleans, which is where I saw Snook sing.
Yeah, rock and ball is super
And
fun.
Angus is saying dollar beers, great bands, and bowling. Well, they do still have great bands and bowling, but as Pat Wilson reminds us, the dollar beers that was a while ago.
Yeah, that's a while ago.
They don't
And
have
then the
dollar
other
beers.
thing is, we were in New Orleans for Christmas, and we went to the Rock and Bowl, and we took our kid with us, our 15-year-old, who really wanted to bowl, but we had not booked bowling ahead of time.
Well, the
and
bowling
there
was kind
no.
of shut that night for some reason. They had no lanes available, even though there were lanes available, but they had no lanes available for some reason. I don't know what the reason.
But there were people bowling.
There were people bowling, but they weren't allowing
Oh,
the
the
people
whole-
who weren't already bowling to bowl for some
maybe
reason.
maybe it was a club night, and we were non-club, bowlers.
Yeah.
We were just complete amateurs who had to get out, had to rent the shoes, and we
I
didn't have our own balls.
I have to say, if I moved to New Orleans, and it's hard to say what you would do if you lived in New Orleans, but I don't think I would join a bowling league. And then again, as I think about it more, I really don't know. Maybe I would join a bowling league.
Are you a joiner?
Well, in New Orleans, I am. In New Orleans, I'm definitely a joiner.
Yeah.
Like if I see a parade, this is the great thing about New Orleans. Most of the United States, if you go to a parade, you're watching the parade. But in New Orleans, you have the option of being in the parade. Like you can go from I'm watching this parade to like this parade is too good. I'm getting in this parade.
Yeah, that's what you have to love about New Orleans is that it's a
You have the option
it's a
to be
free
in it.
for all. You can be in the parade.
Oh, at the Rock and Bowl, oftentimes the bartenders, the female bartenders, they're all female. I don't know how that happened.
How did that happen?
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
But they'll get up on the bar and dance and do hula hoops during the show. And in New Orleans, the great thing is, in the rest of America, if you're about to climb up on the bar and start dancing, you need to ask yourself if you're ready to go home, because that's probably what's going to happen. But in New Orleans, if you climb up on top of the bar and start dancing, you got to ask yourself if you're ready to lead this group of people to a better time, because that's you're going to become a hero. In New Orleans, the first person to think of, I'm getting on the bar right now, is like, yes, how did you not do that sooner?
And then you lead you're the dance leader. What do you call it when you're the dance? The person who's leading the dance. Not the man, not that.
Not the man.
Well, I'm just being silly because if you're dancing in a couple, the man is the leader. That's the problem we've always had because I don't like to follow. I like to freestyle.
You don't like the part of dancing where I'm sort of saying this is what we're doing,
Yeah,
and
no,
you're
I don't
like,
like
no,
that.
this is what we're doing. So
Yeah.
our
I like
dancing is a little bit like arguing, kind of.
Well, I'm a
that's okay.
freestyler. I'm a freestyler. Though I have to say I have learned how to do the grapevine now that I've been doing my Ryan Heffington thing this morning, though I had a little leg injury happen when I was, doing a grapevine this morning.
Oh, right.
Or
You're
some
up to
circular, some special move. Me and 4,000 other people.
On Ryan
Yeah.
Heffington's
Ryan Heffington Live, yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah, yeah.
I tried it. I tried it the day before.
When
yesterday, I
Ryan
tried
put
it.
his sparkly top on and said, okay, now, do some voguing, you're on the runway, that he lost Jake there.
I know that was just the point of reference where I said, look, I was going to go do something else, but he didn't lose me. I mean, if I was in New Orleans right now, I would put on a sparkly top. I would do that.
There is probably
If you had a
a
sparkly
sparkly
top.
top somewhere in
Oh,
your
I was-
office.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came in here the other day to steal some of the boas that you have back there because we were doing one of those drive-by birthdays. So we had boas out the side of the window for the 15-year-old girl to make it more festive when you're just driving by and yelling out the window, hey, happy birthday. That's a party now.
Charlie says in California, wanting to dance on the bar means you need to once and for all leave the 80s. Well, I know. California, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. There needs to be more bar dancing here. I have been to Austin 6th Street, and there's all kinds of... Austin 6th Street is fun. I'm not going to badmouth it, but maybe I am going to badmouth it. It's just not quite... It's not quite New Orleans, but I have had some good times in
Pat
Austin.
has got a video of you and me dancing, and Jen wants to know if anyone else is scared of it. I don't think what are we doing? We're
It's
doing
not to be that scary. We went to see some Zydeco.
Yeah,
on,
we were Zydecoing. Yeah,
on,
that's not that scary.
Christmas time.
Yeah, and I promise you, when we Zydeco, it does not look like we're having a bad marital argument.
It does look like we're both counting, though. You can see us doing some math in our minds as we're dancing. It's a little trickier, but
yeah. Well, I wish that we were like, our daughter, when she was in the 5th grade, they taught them how to ballroom dance. So she learned the foxtrot and tango and merengue and salsa and swing dancing, and they taught them it because they said as fifth graders, it's right before the boy they get too self-conscious to sort of be touching each other. And Fanula was really good at merengue because that's the one where you have to be really good at shaking your buttons, they call them. And Taj, the boy who she danced with, is way shorter than her, and watching them on stage in the competition dancing the merengue and shaking their buttons with this very cute disparity in their heights was sweet. But she really knows how to dance because she learned as a fifth grader. If we had learned as fifth graders, our Zydeco, we wouldn't be counting, we'd just be shaken.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, probably. I don't mind a little counting with my dancing. Jen says she saw SRV at Antone's back in the day. I don't know what SRV is. Do you know what SRV is? I know what an SUV is, but I don't think that's what she means.
Yeah, no, I don't think she means that. She might give us a more of a hint, so then we'll know.
Yeah.
We're doing our best, but we're trying to.
We're all doing our best here.
Yeah,
Look,
Jen is unstoppable.
No, she's a power user.
Yeah, she's busy. I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they called them buttons so that they weren't calling them their butts because they thought that was a bit much. What was funny was...
they were
fifth graders.
Fifth grade, so what is that? They're like 10, 11 years old.
But the thing that was really sweet was that they actually walked in with their partners, so they all, linked hands, and they escorted, the boys escorted the girls in, which was super cute. And Fanula and some of her friends had bought white gloves because they thought, we can't actually be touching the flesh of boys. And then, once that they didn't wear the white gloves, they just danced. It was...
Well, as we've all learned from the Varinus time, it's nice to have the gloves, even if you don't need them. And someone had a suggestion for masks up here. I think it was actually Jen. Otter blocker masks. So I did look up a place where we can order printed masks. So we didn't get into that conversation today, but I'm on that. Jeff is asking, do I ever do routines from the past in my shows, like 10 or 20 years ago, or do I just stay more current? He said he's seen me in Irvine, which I love Irvine. Jeff, I'm usually pretty current. Every once in a while, someone will shout out something from the crowd, not a lot, and it's not my favorite thing. If you want me to do something, maybe ask me before, but I try and do the newer stuff because people who've seen the older stuff then aren't so into it. But sometimes people want to hear it. But often the thing that they'll say to suggest that you do it is the punchline that comes at the end of it. And so that's really tricky to do a whole long bit where at the end is they already know the punchline because someone yelled that out. So
I could do one of your jokes from 15 years ago.
Could you?
The one where you're the chicken and you keep on going for the corn that's on the electric thing. Have I done the punchline? Did I do it?
Yeah. It's where God, I can't even remember. It was something about how
dating.
You keep making the same mistake with women or in relationships with the opposite sex or the same sex, depending on what kind of relationships you're into. You keep choosing the same thing wrong. You like to think you're with a smart animal that learns from its mistakes, but you're not. You're the dumb animal, gets the electric shock and goes right back like, oh, corn. Oh, hey, corn. Anyway.
That was funny. And is that... No, I used to love that bit in your act. Because when I first got together with Jake, he did stuff that was, him as a single guy. And now his act is, married guy and me, I'm in there and so's Fanula and stuff we've done. And, I mean, I didn't realize when I started dating Jake that, intimate things that I did weren't going to be, told on stage. But the funny one is also the ding dong who's at the door. It's with the chicken one. Do you remember who it is? No. It's not going to be... do you it's Cameron Diaz, but it was a joke that you had about
Cameron Diaz. Yeah, it's never Cameron Diaz. No. Now people are doing my bits in the comments. That's nice. Speaking of Stevie, I don't think that guitar has moved since you started these. Yeah, that's right. It is. That guitar is right there. I get it down once a quarter and dust it off. I do need to get it out and practice it, but let's face it, I'm never going to be good at the guitar.
I practiced the piano the other day, and I got playing this one song that the only piece of music that I like to play. It's very restful and pretty. And then I was listening to the soundtrack of Call Me By Your Name, and Jake came home and thought it was me playing the piano.
Well, I just walked in the front door. Listen, Jen, yes, no, I do know who Stevie Ray Vaughan is. I know.
Yes.
Oh, my God, come on, please. I just didn't recognize SRV as the initials, but now, of course, I'm going
Yeah,
try
we're
not
going
to,
as fast as we're going as well as we're doing our best with the comments, aren't we? We're
yes, I'm trying to respond
we're reading,
to all
thinking
the
on our
people who want to
feet.
be.
Or
Listen,
our
the other day,
bottoms.
my friend Frank said you need to do these pre-recorded so you can condense them down and make them more a product. And I was like, no, people are trapped at home. They want an interaction. You want to feel like I want to feel like I'm not alone. That's why I want to do this live so I can read your comments and go, there's still people alive out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why we're.
And
doing
how
it live.
well do we do with someone like Jen, who is, can we keep up?
Yeah,
barely.
Well, she had her coffee.
We can barely keep up. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna
Have
have
a
a little
sip of that
my
drink.
try. I made you so inspired me to get a.
I know.
This is like a chai tea, but it's that kind of tea where the leaves are chopped up so fine that they dissolve.
Oh wow!
Pretty good.
I did not have time to make my tea today because I was on the phone right up until go time with my pal Angus, and we were talking about all kinds of stuff. New Zealand, America.
Wow. Bob, is that Bob Ayers from the other cafe? Oh my God! Yeah, it's great to see you here. Stevie's brother Jimmy is still playing a lot around Austin. Jimmy, I'm assuming that's Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Okay, we
I'd
are
love to
going
go
to
see
keep
that.
it live, Bill, because this is what keeps it real. This is what keeps
Yeah, we're keeping it real.
yes, as real as we can.
We're keeping it real in the 310.
Yeah, yeah, we're still in that. We're still in that zip. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not moving.
Can I have a try of the tea, or is it
You can. Let me give it a little stir
okay?
because
And then I'll go from the opposite side, so you don't get whatever I've got.
I've already got whatever
you
you've
want
got.
what I've got. Come on, you know
I
you do.
want it so bad. I want what you got so bad.
Wow, did you put extra sweetie stuff in that?
No, that's the way it
Wow.
comes right out of the bag. This
Yeah.
bag has lasted me a long time, by the way. It's just every once in a while, but yeah, it's sweet. It's sweet. And
Yeah, I'm not usually a sweet tea person.
This is the third day in a row without addressing hamsters. I do get that.
We're gonna
And-
so get on those hamsters tomorrow. I mean, it's gonna be woe to go hamsters.
Yeah. So Steve is just saying, big fan, just joined. Once tried to get me to host a VH1 show created years ago after seeing me do my garage sale routine. Yeah, I don't. I remember that routine. I don't remember the VH1 show, but maybe we should revisit that. I could use a job when this is over, when Varinus is done and we're allowed to leave our houses. That bit, the garage sale routine, is on an HBO special that is available still right now on HBO. If you have HBO and you go to the online on demand, you can watch that bit. I'm pretty sure.
I watched a bit of one of Jake's HBO specials before we went out on a date the first time.
Yeah, you did, to see, just to make sure I was funny in case like, oh, this could be terrible.
Well, it was. I mean, it makes it. I mean, I'm not a comedy snob or anything, but when when you asked for my number and Denise, said, Jake would like your number, I just thought it might be a good idea to make sure that I thought his comedy was really funny, because imagine if you got asked out by SRV. And then you went to see him and you didn't think his music was great.
Oh my
and then
God.
you'd be in a really Stevie Ray Vaughan. And then you'd be in an embarrassing... Anyway, I watched about 5 minutes of your first or your second HBO special. I'm like, yeah, this guy's funny. You can definitely have my number.
Just so you know, if you watch Stevie Ray Vaughan now and you don't like him, we've got a problem.
Well, yeah.
But there's a lot of reasons to not date Stevie Ray Vaughan that don't have anything to do with his music.
I don't know anything about Stevie Ray
Well,
Vaughan.
he's dead now, so you can't date dead people.
Well, unless you're a very special kind of person and you want a special kind of relationship, then you're, yes. But but I did check out one of Jake's HBO specials and I thought he was super funny, and so we went on a date, and here we are.
Yeah.
Here we
Everybody's talking about tea bags. These are not. It's not tea bags.
No,
This
there's
is
no
a
tea
powder.
bag in there.
It's a powder that you take out and you dissolve it right in. I think it's called Matcha Tea, and that's because it's ground so fine that it dissolves in there.
That reminds me of that comment after Monsters Ball, the movie, where
Go ahead, we're wrapping it up, and I'm skeptical about a Monsters Ball wrap-up, but go for it.
So it's Halle Berry, and she has sex in it with the guy who's in the show,
Billy Bob Thornton.
And then there was that comment about how awful that was, having to watch him have sex with her, and that would be like, I can't remember who the guy was teabagging Reese Witherspoon.
I think it's James Earl Jones.
Yes,
teabagging Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, there we Thanks.
And I'm glad it was teabagging because someone did say teabagging.
Yeah, teabagging. Yeah, we bought it in for landing, and thank you for your help on
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that was a great assist.
Teabagging sounds like a real sex thing, but I feel like it's just such a weird. I guess it just happens, but you don't bring it up and go, "Look, do you mind if I?" Can we do the
Yeah,
teabag
let's do some
now?
teabagging now. Yeah,
It just seems
we can
weird.
get on to some other things after that, but I'd really like to. Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be great right about now.
Yes, I do get it. Sorry, guys. I know. I said teabag earlier. I didn't, but you made it weird. Hey, thanks for being here. You're not making it weird. You're making it great. I really appreciate this connection, this part of the day. We both enjoy it. I hope that you enjoy it. We're going to see you tomorrow. It's Thursday, the first day of Virtual Jazz Fest. So I want you to download the WWOZ app, and you can get the schedule online. You can see who's playing. Starts at 11 a.m. Central. That's 9 a.m. California. Kermit Ruffins, tribute to Louis Armstrong. 11 a.m. I'm going to be there. I hope you'll be there. I'm going to be there all day long, but I'll be in here at 3 o'clock weekdays. We're live. Love you.
And then I'm just going to do one plug for Earth Day, my YouTube, shopping, taking a break from non-essential shopping, really giving the planet a break from us. That's another little bit of media, and that's available right now under my name on YouTube. It's a little bit different to what I do with Jake. It's not,
When this is over, I'm going to buy you a present. She doesn't want one. She doesn't want one.
No, don't buy me anything. No, I got all the stuff I need.
I have that on tape. Don't give up. There'll be plenty of time to give up later.
Oh, we're not giving up.
Stay strong. No, I'm not. I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good right now.
Yeah.
Have a